Hey, what's up, guys? It's the end of the year, 1 week left. Um, yeah, me and Boggs are going up against Turtles, going up against Dave in the championship. So pretty excited about that. Those of you who didn't make it to the playoffs or didn't make it to the championship round had a great year. It was a lot of fun. Um, yeah, everybody knows that any year could be your year, so don't give up, don't get discouraged or anything like that. Last year, truth is out there. They were in the championship game. This year, they're in the Turd Bowl. Turtles. They were not in the playoffs last year, and now they're in the Super Bowl this year. So, your year could be any year. So, yeah, just a heads up. So, don't get discouraged or anything like that. Um, I put together an acknowledgement list, good and bad. I just want to make sure everybody knows that you're getting credit where credit is due, and you're not getting credit where credit is not due. So, yeah, I put together a few, best team, MVP, things like that. So, it'll be fun. So, here's what I got. I have for this year most surprising team. The most surprising team, I think, is going to have to go to Turtles. Going to have to go to Dave. Congratulations, Dave, making it to the Super Bowl. And actually, in my opinion, you are probably the favorite to beat us this week. Hopefully, you don't, but I just think that your team is a little bit better than ours. So, especially with Aaron Hernandez in there and stuff. So, best of luck to you. Whatever happens, a lot of credit, man. You did a great job managing your team in the offseason and getting some good trades off. So, um, most disappointing team. I don't think anybody's going to be surprised by this. The truth is out there. Most disappointing team. They were in the Super Bowl last year, and now they can't even win the Turd Bowl. So. Trading away Percy Harvin, trading away your team, probably, not in your best interest, but, you did get Des Bryant and James Jones. James Jones went off for 3 touchdowns this week in the semifinals. If you would have made it to the playoffs, you probably would have beat somebody if you would have had James Jones on your team still. So, yeah, so truth is out there, most disappointing team. Um, and then we're going to move on to the team that I think won't make the playoffs next year that did make the playoffs this year. That team, and don't get mad, but I'm going to go with fuck them. I'm going to go with Joel. All right. No offense or anything. It's just Darren McFadden is really injury prone. I don't know if Tony Gonzalez is coming back. If he does come back, I don't know if he can be even, half as productive as he was this year. He carried your team, so I'm going with Joel. I don't think he's going to make the playoffs next year, but Joel is a pretty savvy fantasy player, so watch out for him in the long run. So, and then followed by the team that I think will make the playoffs next year. Um, Other than the obvious, Twats for Tots, I think is I don't know. I feel like he's a shoe-in to make the playoffs next year. But team I think is going to make the playoffs next year is the Rice is Right. Merkel, Adam Merkel. Um, the reason I say that is he still has Tom Brady for one more year. He has Ray Rice. Brandon Lloyd is going to be in his second year in New England. He's got a good foundation of players. I think he's going to make the playoffs next year. That's just my prediction. That's just me. So, um, we're going to move on to biggest disappointment. Biggest disappointment, and I don't mean just biggest disappointment for the player. I mean just for how much they cost, how many points they put up. Um, I am gonna go with Antonio Brown, and I know he was hurt a couple games. The games that he was in, though, he only averaged 13 points a game. He ended up the 136th overall scoring player and this dude was $81. 81 bucks. I'm just saying. I mean, he went in the free agent auction. We got Demaryius Thomas. Oh, by the way, this is not including anybody on mine or Boggs' team. I am not including anything like that because that'd be fucking gay if I fucking did that. Um, so yeah, Antonio Brown I have is the biggest disappointment at $81, 13 points an average. Everybody thought, even I thought he was going to have a better year. He just didn't though. So, and then we're going to go to best value, the best valued player. The best value player I am going to give to Twats for Tots with Randall Cobb. I know some of you are going to think that I'm just being a homer here, but if you look at it, this dude is $9. He is the number 8 overall scorer with 341 points. I mean, there's not much else to say about that. I mean, come on. $9. So, Twats for Tots, I give you credit. You had a great year. You didn't make the playoffs, but that's only because you're in an actual division. The other division doesn't actually have teams that can score points. Our division does. So, we'll talk about maybe switching up the divisions in the offseason here. I'll get to that in a little bit, in a couple of minutes. So, yeah, Randall Cobb, best valued player. Easiest road to the playoffs. If anybody wants to dispute this, you can come talk to me, but I'm going with Corn Julio, Javon Belcher's shotgun offense, a.k.a. Mick. Mick, you son of a bitch. You have a chance at getting third place. You were the 5th highest scoring team. Twats for Tots was the 4th highest scoring team, and they didn't make the fucking playoffs. All right? If that's not fantasy football at its biggest fucking shenanigans, I don't know what is. I am fucking declaring shenanigans on that shit right now. Mick, you son of a bitch, you should not even be in the playoffs. You got a bye. You got a bye week, and you were the 5th highest scoring player. You were an average team, and you made the playoff. Not only did you make the playoffs, you got the number 1 seed. That is insane. Just insane. I've never seen anything like that. Fuck you, Mick. So that's all I have to say. Easiest road. And then we're going to go to the biggest shaft. The team that got shafted the worst, I don't think there's any argument here. We're going Twats for Tots. Like I just mentioned, they were the 4th highest scoring team. The 4th highest scoring team. Our division had, I'm pretty sure, 3 of the top 4 scoring teams, all in our division. Twats for Tots, dude. I know it was your first year. I don't want you to give up on the league. I am fully faithful that you are going to make the playoffs next year. You have Drew Brees, you have Randall Cobb, you have a great foundation of players. You score a ton of fucking points. You just didn't make the playoffs. So you will next year, though. You have a chance to get the number 1 overall pick. So keep that in mind. Stay positive. It's a great league to be in. So just stay strong, man. All right, so that's that. Then we're going to go to the best performance for 1 week for a team. I'm going with Turtles in a Half Shell with 210 points in week 10. Week 10. It was a crazy week for this dude. Matty Ice had 41. LaShawn McCoy had 14. CJ Spiller had 17. Hakeem Nicks had 16. Reggie Wayne had 17. Roddy White had 23. Jimmy Graham had 46.5. Cowboys D had 27. Oh, and by the way, that was the week that he played us. Yeah, fucking murdered us that week. So, best performance for a team in 1 week, I'm giving to Turtles in a Half Shell. Great job, man. Made the Super Bowl. It's awesome, man. So, Yeah, and last but not least, MVP. Doesn't matter how much he costs. That doesn't matter. Just you are the most valuable player for your team. And I don't think it's even close if you really look at it. I think it has to be Calvin Johnson for sweater meat. Uh, Prusky, that sweater meat is Prusky for those of you who don't know. Prusky did not have a lot of top scorers in this league. He does have RG3, but he traded for him in like week fucking 12 or something like that, or week 10 or something like that. He still made the playoffs. He was number 3 seed in our division. He had Matthew Stafford, who got off to a terrible start. Otherwise, through 8 or 9 weeks, he didn't have a single top scoring player on his whole team except for Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson didn't even find the end zone, and he's still scoring these crazy amount of points. He's right now he's going for the single season receiving yards record. He has 356 points. The top scoring player is like 390 or something like that for a quarterback. And this is a quarterback driven league. As most of you guys know, not all of you, but most of you guys know, we set up the scoring so it's more NFL like. So it kind of mimics how the NFL is, and we want it to be a quarterback driven league. That's why passing touchdowns are 6 points, rushing touchdowns are 6 points, because we want it to be a quarterback driven league. And for this to be a quarterback driven league, and your wide receiver is scoring just as many points, actually in most cases more points than your quarterback, is very awesome. So Prusky, hands down to you. Hands down. Calvin Johnson is the MVP of the league. He carried your team into the playoffs. You lost, but successful season nonetheless. You're playing for third place. What more can you ask? You know what I mean? So that is my MVP. All of this is just my opinion. All of this. So yeah. So that's all I got. Just want to say money. Money is still due. I have money from about half the teams. I still need a lot of money. All right. The only way I am going to be able to fund this party, get everybody their prizes, get everybody their money, is if I have everybody else's money. So please, I need to know how you're getting me the money by the first week of the playoffs, and you have to have your money by the party. By the time we have the party, and I would like everybody to be there for the party. If you can't make it, whatever, shit happens, but I would like most people to be there for the party, mostly because right before the party we do the those of you, most everybody was here last year. We do the rules. We go over the rules. If there's any rule changes that you guys want to make, any scoring changes and stuff, that's when you can do it. We're going to be nominating rule changes, scoring changes, anything like that. So, make sure you're there. Obviously, there's things that I don't want changed. Things with scoring, though, that is completely open. You guys are owners. You pay a fucking shitload of money to be in this league. You have just as much say as anybody else to, to change some rules and just kind of get things where you want them to go to your liking. So, yeah, please get your money in. I'm going to schedule this party as soon as I can. And, yeah, and then we're going to start this off season. So, besides that, Boggs Boys. He is not going to be rejoining us next year. I am very confident in a replacement, though. Hopefully, he'll be able to show up for our end of the year party. If there's anybody else who's not going to be rejoining next year, please let me know as soon as possible. I really hate to see people leave the league, but if you're not comfortable in it, or whatever the case may be, just let me know. So yeah, so get your money in. I'm gonna let everybody know when the party is. I'm gonna get everybody their money. Ton of payouts. There is so much money going to so many people. So yeah, just let me know when that. farewell to Boggs boys. We're gonna miss you, but yeah. So besides that, just good luck to you, Dave. It's a great year, everybody. Really happy with the outcome. Really happy with everything. So yeah, good luck to you, Dave, again. And yeah, I'll be talking to you guys soon, hopefully.